How's it going? My name is Zach and this is my 2010 FJ Cruiser. In today's video, I'm going to go over my light setup. Most of the lights on this vehicle are going to be Diode Dynamics. Full disclosure, they do know who I am. I've been to their facility for my Mustang. I have a Dark Horse that has all Form lighting, which if you didn't know, Form and Diode are the same company. So they know who I am. However, they did not pay me to make this video or pay me to use any of their products. I simply like the company, I like the brand, I like the team behind the brand, and I like the products. So there's no connection there, there's no link, there's no exchange of currency, product, or anything. I'm just a guy that likes lights, and these are the lights I chose. So starting out, down low, we have two SS3 Max fog beams on both sides. Moving up slightly, we have two SS5 Pro combo beams. Those are not backlit. Everything else is backlit, but the reason those are not is because those have an amber chip on them. Without going down the rabbit hole, there's two different chips you get from Diode. You get a clear chip or an amber chip, and the chip color just determines the light color. If you have an amber chip and an amber lens, if you have an amber backlit, it appears yellow, not really amber like everything else does. So it doesn't look the same, and that's why they're not backlit. It's kind of a rabbit hole and irrelevant, but that's why those are not backlit. Moving on up from there, my two ditch lights are SS3 Pros with the combo beams. Next to them are two of the 2.0 flood beams, the new ones, the new generation that came out with a Gen 2 not too long ago. And then slightly up from there in my mirrors, you'll see they're off right now, but those are also Diode product I'll go over here in a few minutes. Those are kind of something special that a friend of mine did. Up top on the roof rack, I have 6 SS5 Sport diodes. The lenses for them are not all the same. The two centermost lights are spot lenses. The two outer from that are driving, and the two furthest out are combo. So I guess kind of from left to right, it goes combo, driving, spot, spot, driving, combo. And the reason I did that is because I wanted long range, mid range, and a little bit of flood. I didn't want a whole lot of flood because I had the ditch lights and those ones. I wanted more of that long range punch. And without going down the rabbit hole, in the spot lens, the SS5 Sport technically outperforms the Pros in the sense that the light is much more concentrated on the Sport trim exclusively for spot. I think also combo, but in most regards spot. It's due to the chip size. The spot beam on a Sport SS5 is significantly more concentrated than it is with a Pro. The Pro spot beam has more overall light, but there's a lot more flood to it, so you lose out on that spot and it kind of gets washed out. So that's why I went with Sports. Everything up top is a Sport as well to kind of keep the amperage down. And honestly, it's plenty of light. I really don't need Pros up there. If you really want them, great, but I did not go with that. So that's kind of a long-winded explanation for why I have Sports up there, but the whole crosslink up top is Sports, and it's mounted to a prinsu roof rack via the, I believe Diode makes it, but the Diode to prinsu mounting bracket. Moving on from there, I have one 2.0 on both sides for the side of my vehicle. Those have a decent amount of throw to them. They are just floods, so it does not go very far, and it's kind of concentrated. So I might end up sliding that one forward and then putting another set kind of further towards the back. I have another set laying on the bench, but I don't know if I really want to go through all that. Aside from that, light-wise, up top, I have 2 more on each of my handles, which I will kind of show you now. Those lights are not Diode. Those are made by Prinsu, and they're the Prinsu handle lights. Sorry, I'm on a phone mount, so it's kind of all weird. Those are their Prinsu handle lights, so it's integrated into the handle, and the light just kind of pokes out and shines down. They're not very bright. They only have about 400 lumens a piece, but they're really good for not being too bright, but still having some adequate light on the side of your vehicle. So aside from that, the other forward-facing light I have is this, which I kind of was talking about a little while ago. This is actually my mirror light, and this is a SS1 into my mirror. You 3D print this bevel, and then you can mount an SS1 in your mirror on FJs. I have a spot lens in it, which I don't know, I'm kind of torn. You probably would either want a spot or a flood. However, the spot lens on an SS1, being how small it is, it's really not gonna do a whole lot. I feel like the flood is gonna do much more for you because it's just gonna give you that overall floodlight up close. The spot does not go very far. So I don't know, with how many lights I have, it's not doing a whole lot anyway, so I don't think I'm gonna change it. But if I were to do this over again, I'd probably put a flood there rather than a spot, just because the flood would be more useful. But it is also hooked up to my turn signal, and I'll show you that right now. Oops. So you'll see when it's on, it's blinking, and my hazards are on currently, so that's why it's blinking. They're both sides do it, but it is hooked up to my turn signal and my hazard. So whenever the turn signal is on, I have another forward facing blinker, which I really like. I like the redundancy factor of 2 is 1 and 1 is none. So having a secondary blinker just allows for more safety and just more visibility. I also forgot to mention up front, my headlights are aftermarket. They are not FJ OEM. I don't even know the brand of them. They're very, very, very Chinese. They look cool, they're LEDs. I cannot speak to the quality of them because again, they're Chinese. I've not had them very long. I love how they look, but they are, Chinese headlights. When I first got them, they were way too high and everybody on the road was flashing me. So I had to adjust them, but they're super freaking bright. I like them, but I can't really recommend them because again, they are very Chinese. But moving on from there, we're gonna go to the back of the FJ where I have another set of lights, and I will resume that when I open up my door. So now we're outside looking at the back of my FJ, and I'm gonna kind of go over this whole light setup back here. So much like the front, I do have another set of blinkers. This time they're up top, and it's one C1 amber backlit amber lens. And the reason for that is the amber backlit is for my turn signal, and the amber lens are for chaser lights, which again, I'll show you in a moment, as well as in the clips out at night. And here is the interior light. Ignore my key light going off. That's because the key's in the ignition, but super bright in here, a lot brighter than OEM. I really like the setup, and yeah, that's my setup. So now I'm going to be narrating over the clip of the lights at night. I went a little bit quicker than I intended to, so I will have to be kind of quick in my narration. I will try to name the specific light and then also its function. So starting out are the two SS1 ambers on the furthest outmost part of my rear, which are my chase lights. Then I have three SS1 inner reverse lights, followed by my prinsu camp lights on the both sides. Diode 2.0 side lighting, left and right, and then the Diode 2.0 turn lighting, left and right. Everything backlit as it idles with no headlights, turning on my headlights. Then the max fog lights, my SS3 Pro ditch lights, SS5 grill lights, SS5 crosslink up top. All of them on, slowly stepping it down to nothing, and then just the ditch lights, just the SS5 Pros, and then just the crosslink. Side note, at this point, when someone comes down the road, where they're turning is exactly half a mile away. I measured it on Google Maps, so it illuminates half a mile. This setup is absolutely insane, and I could not recommend it enough. So I appreciate you watching, and tune in next time for the next one.